the surface of the kind of feelings that we want to have, because in IELTS you are limited to 300 words. And the only reason I asked you to write 500 words is just because I wanted to make it a little bit challenging to you, so you can feel more flexible writing more in limited time. And that's the whole sole purpose for my goal.
Well, it took me 1 week to finish it.
Plus, I think that's very realistic, since we're not writing a lot. I mean, we're not writing literature. We're not writers by default, and the whole task of writing is just to get us across IELTS test, and the whole preparation that we've been doing so far is for this whole sole purpose. So going back to motherhood, tell me about the main challenges, because I do not want to dominate the whole conversation.
Do you mean about writing, or
yes?
Shall start
Yeah. Before we start the discussing the yes.
Well, in the first time I wanted to write about the subject, I imagined myself on the examination hall, and I put the timer beside me, and I was imagining that I'm having the writing task at the examination. So as I said, I finished all the time, and I didn't write even one line about the task, because things and thoughts are coming and escaping, and I don't know, it was something wrong, that I stressed myself and put a lot of pressure, that I imagined it is an examination. And it is something I feel, and it's not always things I can express or talk about it. But what made me succeed after that is that I said, let's imagine that it is a story, and I want to tell about it, and it worked after all.
Let's not get sidetracked, but I only have this kind of question that I want to ask you. Do you feel much better telling people what you're thinking about and having them write that to you better, or you just express that by yourself directly?
Do you think sharing thoughts with others?
No, I mean, instead of writing down the content of that essay, telling a person to write it to you while you're
I prefer
telling
this way. I prefer that's helped me, as I told you. It's helped me to collect and gather my ideas better. I imagine that someone is sitting in front of me, and I'm trying to give him some of my experiences and advice.
Yeah, keep going. That's recording. That's why we talked about this application.
Yeah, so I'm going to have an iPhone to download this app.
Well, this application is not for iPhone, it's for Android, so it is very compatible with
my phone is heavily loaded with photos and videos, and I want a reason so I can throw it out.
I don't think you're looking for a reason, you're looking for an occasion.
There are lots of occasions.
I mean,
we need reasons.
Poor husband is always bombarded with so many occasions that he has never thought about or considered, for being a good opportunity to grab $300 or $400 gift. Okay, now shifting and transitioning to our topic actually today. Why I wanted this meeting to be on Zoom, first of all, because I thought that you've typed the whole thing, not written, because once
I wrote it.
I'm not sure if you took a photo.
Totally forget about the Google Sheets. I totally forget about it.
Regardless of whether you wrote it on Google Sheet, because some people find it easier and faster for them to send their
It's all
thoughts
right,
to their
okay.
hand, to their fingers faster, and their pen faster than just going swiftly on a keyboard and just trying to find the location of the letter to just put it down and create a text out of it. However, my question, well, not my question, my reason, justifiable reason for why doing this on a Zoom conference is because I wanted to reflect it here so we can have it both together and then just share some thoughts and some ideas about it. But in this way, I'll just have to alternatively rely on my listening to you and then judge on that. Because I'm not going to be able to give you feedback written or on a side note just because it's a JPEG, it's a photo. So I'm not sure if we can do that. However, the floor is yours. I want you to give me an overview of the essay,
Okay.
and then we will go sentence by sentence, analyzing that and whether that's good to my ears and or not, and how we can create some sort of like a better version if it is not a better version. I'm
Okay.
highly doubt that it's bad version. It's definitely a good version.
Okay, thanks. There is no single absolute definition of a motherhood. In fact, motherhood is an accumulation of variable emotions, experiences, success, failure, sacrificing, and many other contradictory things. There is a genuine and strenuous actions to do on daily basis that requires a solid willpower and self-belief to accomplish this work. However, unfortunately, in addition to the inevitable defiances and challenges the mother may fight, the undue pain of unrealistic expectations that render the mother deprived of willpower.
Mm-hmm.
The entire the entire story started 3 months after my childbirth. It was 7 a.m. I, as usual, didn't sleep the previous night. I rushed to the phone and called my friend. She was a female surgeon in her second grade. I told her that I'm not good at this. Moreover, I'm not enjoying motherhood. I think I have a postpartum depression. She asked me about my symptoms in details. Finally, she said, this is not a depression. All what you need is reassurance. I
Mm-hmm.
told her, but it is not supposed to feel this way, and it is not what I predicted. So she asked me, what did you exactly expect? Would you please tell me? I said, I expected that motherhood is a cure for all my hardship. It will make me feel more powerful, whole, perfect, and happy. I thought that my instinct will always lead me and tell me what to do naturally, and I will be more than pleased and delighted to always put the baby in the first. Sorry, the power went.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At the end, I said I had enough. I don't want to be a mother anymore. But my friend said some powerful magical words that that still ring in my ears and recharge my robust awareness about motherhood. She said, "Do not ever say I cannot do it, even before you attempt to do it. The real victory is to say I tried and I did my best trying. This is the only way to defeat your worries and feel satisfaction." Women may experience the feelings of guilt about their children care and well-being, conflicts and responsibilities regarding their careers and degrees, and even about the smallest children's life choices. Inadequacy and wondering if they are enough mothers or just messing their children up. Those struggles have different origins related to religion, culture, and community and history. If we travel back few years, we might find the families working together in agrarian societies and all the family members are integrated. Even the children are productive and participating for survival. However, in the following years, women were kept inside what looked like a protective sphere called the home to generate a sanctuary for the husband and children, putting the mother in the pedestal of idealism. This narrow view of motherhood is again a fundamental part of the religious upbringing. As I remember, we received hundred messages said that the most significant role a woman can do is to create and raise a family. Motherhood ought to be the ultimate and satisfactory priority and the woman's joy fulfillment. I know a lot of women who felt concerned about seeking for jobs, and many of their relatives, friends advised them not to seek employment out of their homes. They tricked us with the golden view and features of a mother, which are being inherently selfless, sacrificing, and nurturing. This ideal view may result from culture and community. For instance, the mommy bloggers, parenting books, the Instagram perfect birthday and vacation photos where everybody is smiling. The models who give birth and go the next day for photo session. We are receiving messages from external sources that are telling us there is one and ideal way to be a mother, which downsize our willingness. I grew up dreaming of being a successful doctor and promised myself not to stop studying until I become a professor. However, none of this happened. So I took many steps back, wondering if there is something wrong with me for asking, wanting, and dreaming so much. I questioned myself many times and on different occasions whether or not I'm worthy of all those blessings. And I wondered if I was flawed because I didn't fit this ideal. Now I can stand tall and say there is no perfect or even right way to be a mother. All what it requires is a true and honest willpower. And I'm proud to say I do have it naturally, because when you stay awake for 22 to 23 hours a day looking for another powerless human being, it is a willpower. When you endure hours of persistent whining, crying, and yelling for no exact reason, it is a firm strength of will. When you repeatedly bounce backward, suspending all your dreams, your hopes, and your aspirations, it entails a rigid willpower. In conclusion, I learned not to choose and not to focus on raising on family at the exclusion of other things and endeavors. I should not choose between a family and creative and educational and professional pursuits. But because motherhood is not a role to play, it is a relationship. Good mother has the power of excellence, connection, and attachment with family. Are these 500 words?
Impressive. Let me tell you something, Zainab. Whatever I will say, it's not going to be considered flattery or any sort of fake compliment.
Mm.
I do not recall being emotional and so much engaged and so much influenced to the point that I am tearing out the same way that I heard you say this, because whatever you said just came from your heart. It just reflected the kind of mixture of emotions and feelings and struggle, and the way your words delivered these kind of emotions just purely evidenced the fact that words can deliver true and genuine meaning. What you wrote here can be publishable in a journal, can be a book introduction, can be the first chapter of a series of books about motherhood. I assure you, without flattery and compliment, that whatever you wrote, I can never write something like it. You wrote it better than native speakers, and whatever you wrote can be glassed and read by audience coming through auditions. I really want you to send me photos of what you wrote so I can post them for people to read the struggle that you've gone through to become a mother, unexpecting the right track of being a mother, then discovering that being a mother is organically sharing and empowering mutual kind of relationship between you and your child. Honestly, I haven't been so much influenced the way that I am right now. And that is just because partially I've gone through some struggles of um, child issues when I was, in the early stages of, um, shifting from being single to being married. Um, but the true quality of what you said is just it stemmed and it originates from your heart, and I hail you for what you wrote, and I really beg you can send me this as a clear photo so I can read it again and again, and then I can just have a look at read it more, because it's true genuine piece of writing. I assure you, it can be published in journals. Whatever you said here about motherhood is really good. It can be a session with Oprah Winfrey, just talking about what you wrote here, honestly. And this, what you wrote, is not qualified as an essay for IELTS. It can be qualified as a good bestseller book on Amazon. So you should be proud of what you wrote, but first of all, you should be prouder of being a mother and caring for that with the complications of being a doctor, understanding the complications of medicine and how you should treat your child and prohibit any kind of microbes, germs, viruses from entering his immunity system, and uh, expecting some sort of struggle to get it off from him. But I'm proudly saying that this is the best piece of essay that I've heard through the last 15 years of my working as an English teacher. I remember the last one was by a divorced woman, a separated woman, that she wrote to me when I was working back in 2013. That was the last thing that I remember touched my heart so deeply, because she talked about the struggle of being divorced and separated, trying to find her own way in this country, avoiding and trying to, umbrella herself from the from the rain of negative criticism by people, and negative judgment of her family, and the perception of her as being a separated woman. And what she wrote to me really touched my heart. And I assure you that this was the first one since 2013 that I'm proudly saying, I'm very happy that I'm working with you on what you wrote. And I guarantee you, from the amount of words and the amount of readings that I've done, you can start a good book about motherhood by just posting that as the first chapter. It's really good. I really never like the word good, but the word good, the only word good, you mentioned the word good once in this essay, and it just fit that context, and it just hit the heart, and it's really good way of writing. You're a good writer by default. I think
Mm.
good writing is in your DNA. That's why you struggle. I remember
Mm.
this saying by Ernest Hemingway, who said, he was asked, "How do you write?" And he said,
Mm.
it's just easy. You just need to hold your pen on a paper and
Mm.
start bleeding."
Mm. Yes, it is indeed.
What he meant by that, that you just need to reflect your inner emotions and reflect the true original feeling that you go through. And I totally disagree with you that uh, you mentioned earlier in the first part that words may have limitations to express feelings. To some extent,
Mm.
with some occasions, yes, but I haven't seen. I was almost crying, honestly, but since I'm recording this, I couldn't, um, uh, honestly, like, this is absolutely amazing piece of writing, and I'm very proud to ask you
And
to
I
just
have a
send
good
it to.
performance also.
Huh?
Performer. And I have a good performance also.
Well, that I should wait to see. Maybe an audition in a theater or somewhere. Thank you
I
so
remember
much for
that's
this,
all
lovely.
this the discussions and the seminars that we had on college. I was the one who was responsible to present because I have the power of convincing people.
I really think that's a really good power that you should invest in
Mm.
and develop. But I truly believe that whatever you wrote about motherhood
Mm.
is really valid, and I can see that. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night while she's feeding my child, and see how much
Mm.
she struggles. Like, she wakes up consecutively 4 or 5 times. Last week
Mm.
she woke up at 12, at 1, at 2, at 4, at 5, at 6, at 7, and she
Mm.
started the morning ironing my shirts and
Mm.
then preparing breakfast and lunch and dinner. It's really struggle, I can't.
Mm.
I don't know how you guys do that. Honestly. I
So
really
do we.
uh,
We don't know what charge us.
yeah, that's quite an inspirational thing, just to have a look at it and see how much struggle that you do. um I really thank you, and I really want to ask you to take a clear photo of this essay and send it to me, because I want to
Okay.
read it again and again and again and again. It touched my heart,
Mm.
and I'm pretty sure it can be
Mm.
published somewhere. Once people get
Mm.
access to read it, I assure you it can be really good quality. And I'll um, if you give me permission, I
Mm.
know of some people
Mm.
who can take care of that, and just probably cooperate with you to author a book about motherhood. Honestly, this is something you can do. It's based on this
Mm.
kind of damn IELTS. Forget about IELTS. IELTS
Mm.
aside,
Yes.
what you wrote, IELTS is just a transitional score that determines whether you are following the instructions or not. But thinking
Mm.
about the human perspective, the human side of being motherhood, a lot of the essays that people write in IELTS get trashed in recycle bins, because the
Mm.
agency does not look at the content and the feelings and the struggles and emotions that people
Mm.
go through to write about something that touches their humanity side and their feelings.
Mm.
Instead, they ask them to write about something silly, like how we can improve sewers, or how health system
Mm.
can be developed in third, you know, world countries.
Yeah.
Instead of asking them to
Mm.
write about a personal experience that they go through, they struggle
Mm.
with, they suffer from, and that's
Mm.
the true essence of being part of the education cycle. Anyways,
Mm.
I want you to give me any other comments that you like to have here because I'm really overwhelmed with the essay. I never ever expected this sort of marvelous, miscellaneous word selection and artistic way of delivering this. And I truly think that the whole span of 1 week that you spent thinking, contemplating, and considering word choices is just because you wanted to perfect it and, you know, get it, deliver your true essence. So tell me about that part.
Well, I use the simple words usually when we speak, when we travel, when we read. This is something simple. You use the words from your own dictionary. But when I want to put it in academic and
Context.
it is really a big deal and struggle. I had to use the dictionary hundreds of times to write one page, for example, so I can find the most perfect word. And I had to read more about the subject, about motherhood, and I have to link it to my ideas and have to put it in my own words. So 1 week, I think if I had more than 1 week, I can make it.
You can definitely
more
write
perfect.
a whole book.
Yes, that's why I'm going to have another phone and download that app so I can speak to it whenever I want.
Can I ask you, did you know the word agrarian prior to start writing about
I
motherhood?
heard it. I don't know. I think I heard it from one videos. They said agrarian, but I didn't know what about it. What does this means?
And
So
you
I
just
searched for it.
So what criteria did you follow to write that word? What made you use it in this essay?
I find a picture on internet of a family. They were farmers. They have children playing on the farm, and it just came into my mind.
Okay. Well, part of the true essence of good, genuine writers is that they rely heavily on imagination and imageries, because that is how human being thinks. They think using pictures, and because of that, they try to depict and describe pictures in colorful and rainbowy way, because that is how people think, and that's how people get engaged with the readers. There is this story that I'm not sure about its validity, but I can some sort of draw relevance to, where Ernest Hemingway was asked and challenged to write one single sentence that makes people cry when they read it. And he wrote, baby pair of shoes, not used baby shoes for sale.
Not what?
Not used. Not used. Let me just get exact sentence for what he wrote. Not used shoes for baby shoes for sale. Baby shoes never worn.
Oh,
Okay.
so it's for a dead baby.
Yes. And it's a single sentence, but it carries so much imagery of how the woman is just heard that her baby has died, and the kind of struggles she went with her husband, and the whole, pain that they went through from the beginning of her, gestation to the later stages of her delivery of the baby, and what she's consequently gone through. Thank you, Zainab. This is really an inspirational thing. and I'm very proud of it. And I really want you to just, once power is back, if it is not back, snap good, clear photos of the essay that you wrote. You do not have to type it, because I can type it if you like.
Okay.
And send it to me. I will read it
I
again.
have other thoughts in my mind, and I can just add to it, and
Please,
I will send it to you.
please.
Yes.
But so far, I want to see this product. And once you get ready with the other thoughts, I want you to share them with me. I really
Okay.
love to just have a look at it and read it again.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's on the writing side. In our next meeting, and I just want to remind you that Ramadan is looming at the doors, and we just need to speed up taking few more classes before Ramadan, just in case Ramadan.
Okay.
We may go through some family breakfast and suhoor and dinner and iftar and all of that complications that may slow
Yes.
down the number of classes that we take per week. So
Okay.
what I want you to do, I'll send you a link to a listening test, just to kind of balance between the amount of reading that we are doing and the amount of listening that we are doing for IELTS, just to check if there is any 1 point progress in your listening over this
Okay.
period. And I would like to ask you about this year. Are you planning to take IELTS anytime soon?
I don't think this year will work,
Okay.
because I want to take it in Turkey and not here.
Sounds good. Now, so far we're done. I'll just send you the link to the listening. I want you just to do it, and whenever you have convenient time to do it, send it to me this upcoming 3 days so we can discuss it. And if you're doing any progress in the power of habit, I know that I'm overwhelming you with few tasks, but whenever you
That's
have
okay.
a chance to just go through 3 or 4 pages of the chapter 5,
Okay.
please let me know so we can
Chapter
discuss it.
6, I think.
Chapter 6, sorry. We can go through it and do a little bit of a little bit more discussion.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being so emotional and expressive about the essay. I'm very happy actually to see it and read it again. Please send it to me now once the class is over and the session is over. And if once you start writing the other thoughts, send them to me again.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Zainab, and see you soon, inshallah.
Thanks for you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.